I've saved my progress as nextmissinglink.ai, so called because this guy seems to be evolving before our eyes into some sort of next generation monocled creature. Anyway, we do need to fix him up a little bit because he's got a lot of problems, especially in this hand. And I'm going to reconcile these problems by pressing Control-Y or Command-Y in the Mac to switch to the outline mode. And that way we can see exactly where the path outlines aren't lining up properly. Now, you may notice here that we lost a finger. And that's because this guy's a blend. We're blending between these two path outlines in order to create a third outline in between. So anyway, I'm going to grab my white arrow tool. That's how we're going to do most of this work. And I'm going to scrunch this finger forward quite a bit, change the control handles, go ahead and make them shorter, and then drag this endpoint so it snaps into alignment with the corner right there. And then I might go ahead and drag this guy up. And you know what else I want to do? Just for the fun of it, I'm going to create a knuckle here with the pen tool. And I'm going to do the same thing for this path outline as well. So I'm control-clicking or command-clicking to deselect the former path, control-clicking or command-clicking on this path to select it, and then I'll alt-drag or option-drag from this anchor point in order to add a control handle in a different direction. And I'll go ahead and draw a hump at this location as well to indicate a knuckle, of course. Make a little bit of a modification with the white arrow tool. Go ahead and grab that white arrow tool, in fact, and drag this knuckle up a little bit as well. I don't need this path outline anymore, so I'll go ahead and alt-click or option-click on it to select it, and then press the backspace key to get rid of it. That's the delete key on the Mac. Let's grab this anchor point, snap it into alignment with this point right there, move the control handle so that it's in alignment with this straight segment right there. That way we have a continuous edge at this location. This guy needs to come over a little bit. This is like his glove or something, by the way. If you don't like this path, you can totally get rid of it. You can make any alterations you like. I don't care if you draw a smiley face on the guy. Totally up to you. All right, now grab this path outline and move it back into position. Basically, everybody around the edge needs some sort of slight modification because that edge path is different than it used to be. I'll go ahead and Alt marquee or Option marquee those two paths to select them. Drag this guy down a little bit until it snaps into alignment like so. Alt-click this path. Maybe just nudge him over a little bit. That was an option click on the Mac. Just because I want to keep using the white arrow tool, by the way. You could switch to the black arrow tool, and then you wouldn't have to keep alt-clicking on one path after another to select the entire thing. Anyway, I'm going to grab this guy, move him into alignment. Let's see what else we got to deal with. These hairs, they should be a lot higher. And I could nudge him or I could drag him. Obviously, a variety of different ways to work. These are fine. Those are his spikes. They're good enough where they are. I think this guy wants to move over a little bit. Yes, he does. And this guy could get nudged over slightly as well. It could even snap into alignment. That's not going to hurt anything. This guy, definitely a problem. Move him up until he snaps into alignment. And otherwise, that looks pretty good. I'll go ahead and grab this point right there, that anchor point, and drag it out. This anchor point wants to be nudged out a little bit. This thumb path wants to be nudged out. This guy wants to be nudged down. These guys want to just come out of this location for right now. What I'm going to do with them is I'm going to turn them into the little hand 10 sort of hand signal here by dragging this guy down like this, and then I'll get the pen tool by pressing the P key, and I'll click there, and I'll click like so, and I might click right about there, I figure, and then I'll click someplace around here, click underneath the thumb like so. Why is that working? What did I do? Now I'm completely confused by my own modifications. Oh, I see. Look at that. I added a point there. Silly, silly me. Only been using Illustrator 24 years, so sometimes I get confused. Anyway, I'm going to click there in order to reactivate the path. Click here, I guess. Click over here, and then click up there in order to create that sort of hang 10 sign. And I might go ahead and move these guys into alignment, or you know what? I think this would look better if I take this guy wider, like so. And that other path outline that's just hanging up there top, I don't need it. So I'll Alt-click on it, Option-click on the Mac, delete it by pressing the backspace or delete key, press Control-Y or Command-Y in a Mac so I can see what's going on with this thumb. It should cover up those two fingers. So I'm not sure if it's in front or in back, but I'm going to go ahead and select that path, right-click, choose Arrange, and then choose Bring to Front. Or I could press Control-Shift right bracket, Command-Shift right bracket on the Mac. Then I need to fill it with white, I gather. So I'll go up to the fill icon up here in a control panel, and I'll change that fill color to white. That is going to present a problem, though, because that means I'm filling over on top of this stroke right there that's on the outside of the path, and I definitely don't want to do that. So I'm going to have to take a two-part approach on this guy. I'll go ahead and copy him by pressing Control-C, Command-C on the Mac in order to copy it to the clipboard. Then I'll click off the shape with the wide arrow tool, grab this anchor point, drag it in so it's remaining centered at the previous location like so. Drag this guy in as well. So in other words, I'm maintaining alignment with the original outline there. And now I'll get rid of the stroke that's associated with this path outline. I believe my stroke is currently active, so I'll just click on the None swatch here in the Swatches panel, and that works out. Now I'll press Control-F or Command-F on the Mac to paste back in that stroke, and now we need to get rid of the fill by going up to the Fill option here in the Control panel and switching the swatch to None, like so. And then I'll click off that subpanel, and that looks great. You know, the one thing that doesn't look great is this guy right there. I don't need this segment. What is going on with this stuff here? These two aren't connected to each other. That is weird. I didn't know that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get this anchor point and delete it like so because we don't need a straight edge right there. That's fine. I'm done with that hand. That's enough work up there. And now I'm going to move down here. These guys aren't really properly aligned. Might as well switch back to the outline mode so I can better see how these various points are intersecting with each other. I'll drag that guy into alignment. Just a few more fussy little things I have to do. Your changes will be totally different because your path outline's totally different. So enjoy that. You'll get a kick out of moving these anchor points all over the place. At least, if nothing else, this is a very real-world project. This is the kind of stuff you have to do on a regular basis inside of Illustrator. So if nothing else, you might as well get used to it. I'm going to go ahead and grab this anchor point, drag it up until it snaps into place. And otherwise, this looks pretty good. I don't know what's going on with that pocket. All right, that was just a weird screen redraw problem, so that's okay. Oh, here. These guys still need work. I'll move this guy up out of the way, then snap him into alignment. Get this path right there and snap it into alignment like so. Grab this path, snap it into alignment. This guy needs to be nudged out just a little bit. This guy needs to come in. If I can select him, I'm having problems grabbing that point, so I'll go ahead and marquee it. Lock down humanoid for a moment, drag it in like so, unlock humanoid, and then bring it back so I can get a snap. And let's see, this point right there needs to be moved down into alignment. I keep thinking I'm going to be done any hour now. And this guy's the final one. Brilliant. This happens every once in a while. If you don't exactly grab the anchor point, you'll grab the segment and you'll whip it around like some kind of crazy lasso. Anyway, I'll undo that modification like there would be any reason on earth I would want to do that, Illustrator. I'll go and marquee that point. That ends up selecting some of the humanoids, so I'll lock that down. I'll lift the point by nudging it, unlock humanoid, drag this anchor point back down into place. I'm feeling so hopeful here. I think I got everybody aligned properly. I'm going to press Control-Y, Command-Y in the Mac. And yes, we do have alignment with the interior and the humanoid exterior. In the next exercise, we're going to start coloring these objects. We're going to rotate them around into different positions. We're going to establish the basis for a repeating tile pattern.